तले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरो वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमाहो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवादी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशधारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरतुषे नमः हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुः च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे So we will discuss eighth chapter, uh, mostly the from 16, no, from the 16th. From the 14th verse I have to probably begin. This is where the section actually the changes. In this chapter, the section begins of how does a pure devotee actually remembers the Lord and what gati does he gets. So till now we have seen how other personalities who might have those who are looking for liberation, how do they attain, how do what they attain, and how do they attain what the Supreme Lord by remembering what is the process of their remembrance has been spoken. But one thing is very clear that one has to remember Krishna at the time of death to attain him or to attain Salokya, something like that. So so everybody may like to attain, but uh, uh, many of them may like to attain, but the purpose for which they want to attain Krishna is different. The process is same, remembering Krishna, but process may be the same, but what we are looking for, that accordingly the destination is awarded. So we saw that how a person who is a yogi who is actually looking for liberation, actually what he does, how does he remembers Krishna at the time of death? We saw that in the last section which we have decided, about 9 to 13 verses. So he actually the base of his remembering is that he remembers Krishna by understanding him to be Kavim, to be Puranam, to be Anushasitaram, to be smallest Anayor Aniya, Sarvasvadhataram, Achintya, Rupam, Aditya Varanam, Tamasah Parastar. So these are the ways that he remembers Krishna actually throughout his life, and at the end of the life, he he makes his and prana and come to the Agya Chakra, and that's how actually he leaves the world and attains Krishna. What he attains, so and what is the requirement of such a practitioner of Sata Chakra Yoga is that he should be Vitaraga, he should be above he should have renounced spirit from Veet and Rag, from the dualities of the material world. He should be a celibate, the brahmacharya, and the knowledge of the Vedas, and should be uttering the word Omkara. So, what is the result? The result is that he attains Brahman, or you can say he attains the Salokya. So, so these are the requirements, and this is how actually he does that. He closes all the doors of the senses, pratyahar, and fix the pran on the top of the head, taking shelter of yoga dhara. He quits the world, and while remembering me, and quits he certainly reaches to my spiritual planet, Padavam Gatim. But it is Salokya. Mostly it is Salokya. That's what it is said. So now, from here onwards, Krishna starts saying from 14th verse onwards that what happens, to my pure devotees. When said pure devotees, they are devotees actually who are not looking for liberation. They are actually looking for attaining Krishna, and uh, and they worship the personality of the Godhead, and they have no other desire. That kind of a devotee. So we will speak, we'll begin from over there, the 14th verse, 8.14, where Krishna very beautifully speaks about how his pure devotee attains. Anantacheta satatam yomam smarati nityasaha tasyaham sulabham partha ditya yuktasya yoginaha. Please read one.
For one who always remember me without deviation, I am easy to obtain, O son of Parth, because of his constant engagement in devotional service. Purport.
Purport.
This verse specially describes the final destination attained by the unalloyed devotee who serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead in Bhakti Yoga. Previous verses have mentioned four different kinds of devotee: the distressed, the inquisitive, those who seek material gain, and the speculative philosopher. Different processes of liberation have also been described: Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, and Hatha Yoga. The principle of this yoga system have some bhakti added, but this verse particularly mentions pure bhakti yoga, without any mixture of Jnana, Karma, or Hatha. A pure devotee does not desire promotion to heavenly planets, nor does he seek oneness with the Brahma Jyoti or salvation or liberation from material entanglement. A pure devotee does not desire anything. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, the pure devotee is called Nishkam, which means he has no desire for self-interest. Perfect peace belongs to him alone, not to them who strive for personal gain. Whereas a Gyan Yogi, Karma Yogi, or Hatha Yogi has his own selfish interest. A perfect devotee has no desire other than to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, the Lord says that for anyone who is unflinchingly devoted to Him, He is easy to attain. Bhakti Yoga is very simple and pure and easy to perform. One can begin simply by chanting Hare Krishna. The Lord is merciful to all, but as we have already explained, He is specially inclined toward those who always serve Him without deviation. One who is fully surrendered and engaged in devotional service of the Supreme Lord can understand the Supreme Lord as He is. And as stated in Bhagavad Gita 10.10, Dadami Buddhi Yogami Tam, the Lord gives such a devotee sufficient intelligence so that ultimately the devotee can attain Him in His spiritual kingdom. The special qualification of the pure devotee is that he is always thinking of Krishna without deviation and without considering the time or place. There should be no impediments. He should be able to carry out his service anywhere and at any time. Someday that the devotee should remain in holy place like Vrindavan or some holy town where the Lord lived. But a pure devotee can live anywhere and create the atmosphere of Vrindavan by his devotional service. It was Sri Advaita who told Lord Chaitanya, wherever you are, O Lord, there is Vrindavan. As indicated by words Satam and Nityaya, which means always, regularly, or every day, a pure devotee constantly remembers Krishna and meditates upon him. These are qualifications of pure devotee for whom the Lord is most easily attainable.
Last.
A pure devotee cannot forget the Supreme Lord for a moment, and similarly, the Supreme Lord cannot forget his pure devotee for a moment. This is the great blessing of Krishna conscious process of chanting the Maha Mantra Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Yeah, so in this verse, actually, it is said Ananya Chetaha Satatam. So they in his, so without deviation, proper is writing. And his word is used over here, Satatam, Nityasaha, right? So constantly, always, and Nityasaha, regularly. Both has been said. So he remembers Krishna all the time. Yomam Smriti Nityasaha. And Ananta Cheta Satatam. He is fixed his mind on the Krishna without deviating on anything. Tasyaham Sulamah Parthaha. For such a devotee, I am very easily obtained. I am very easy, to be obtained to such a Nitya Yuktasya Yoginaha. But then again, back again, he words use the word Nitya Yuktasya. Because he's regularly engaged. So Prabhupada, see what is one who always remembers me without deviation. I'm easy to obtain because of his constant engagement. Because of his constant engagement in devotion service. So this verse actually talks about how a pure devotee actually lives his life and attains Krishna at the end of his life. So uh, so this so now this devotee, he remembers Krishna daily, and not just daily, at begin with daily, like that is why we have body program. We begin try to be performed daily. So devotee remembers him daily, but this Kevala Bhakta does not just remembers him daily. He remembers him all the time, and all the time. But maybe he may remember him some other way. No, without deviation to any other process, fixed, and he desires association with B1. So easily he obtained. So these are the special qualifications of these kind of pure devotees. And Prabhupada has mentioned very nicely about how these kind of devotee actually does not have any mixture of karma, jnana, and hatha yoga, any process. They just depend on the bhakti process itself. They don't depend on any other process for it, or their bhakti is never covered by karma, jnana, and any kind of these things. So a pure devotee, actually, he does not desire anything, right, for himself. He always tries to please, but other kind of pure people, they desire something for themselves, at least liberation. Whereas these pure devotees does not. They are nishkam. You know? So that's why, Krishna Bhakta, Nishkam, Ataiva Shanta, right now. That is why they are very peaceful. Prabhupada is mentioning over there. So this kind of a pure devotee actually remembers Krishna, being said over here. He remembers Krishna without any obstruction. He remembers him all the time, right? Uh, that's what is said. All the time, without consideration of time, place, and circumstance. He remembers him. It is not that. So so the example is also given like of that Gopal Guru's example in Chaitanya Charitamrita, where there was one person, sorry, there was one devotee actually which was actually trying to catch his lips. Um, so this was seen by Gopal, a small boy. So he asked him, that man, why are you catching your lips and making yourself shut down to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra? So this man This devotee said, actually, I am so much addicted to chanting Hare Krishna that my tongue does not stop vibrating Hare Krishna. Even while I am going for, even while I am going for responding to the nature's call. So you know the example Gopal Guru said him. Actually, then why you want to obstruct? Why do you want to obstruct your remembrance of Krishna while going for nature's call? Is- So then the child Gopal said that don't think that chanting of Hare Krishna or the holy name will get contaminated if you vibrate it out while responding to the nature's call. And God knows, that one may die even while responding to nature's call. It's better to remember Krishna all the time. There is no obstruction. So hearing that, that Upadesh which was given by Gopal, the Lord Chaitanya said him, you are fit to be a guru, Gopala Guru. You know? So because he has so much, he so because he has so much, uh, intense, you know, intense desire actually to remember Krishna and the philosophy that he was actually establishing. So, this is how Ananda Cheta are his devotees, you know. So the Lord Chaitanya said him, you are fit to be the Guru, and named him as a Gopala Guru. So, so this is what has been, this kind of a devotees are called Anandachetaha Satatam, right? They always remember Krishna actually without any deviation, without any hindrance, without any kind of obstruction from a time, place, circumstance. They always remember it. And how they remember him? Either by chanting Krishna's name, by performing some service to him for his pleasure. So they're always engaged in Krishna consciousness and they never desire for anything else apart from pleasing Krishna. So such devotee, they very easily obtain Krishna. There's no doubt about it. So and then towards the end, it has been said, Sulabha Par, right? So that word is very important. So it has been said that that these devotees, Sulabha, very, very easily they obtain me, in the sense that actually, tasyaham sulabha partha, right? So over here, the implication is this that because the Lord cannot tolerate a separation from them, such Ananda Cheta devotees. That is why they obtain Krishna very easily. Not, not that they attain him uh, on their own strength. No, because Krishna, you know, cannot feel separation from them, so he destroys all the obstacles in the devotee. Really, really. Yeah. So this devotee is considered he is Sulabha. So he attains me in the sense that actually, because Krishna removes all the obstacles that comes on his path. That's what we said. Because Krishna wants him to come to him. So that is why I said Sulabha Partha. It is very easy, no? Like if somebody wants to go and meet the Prime Minister, so he has to work hard. Whereas there may be a good citizen who is actually working, always remembering and doing something good for cities for the country. Then the prime minister becomes very happy and he wants to see him. So he will remove all the obstructions which may be there in that person coming to the prime minister. Then he will say, hey, usko bulao, milna hai. So no security check, no appointments, nothing is to be there. But that's how the for a devotee it becomes Sulabha, powerful. It is not that on his honest because Krishna now becomes very interested in him. That's what's been said. So he destroys all the obstructions that comes on his path. So this is this being said actually. So they are, but this is for a very peculiar kind of a devotee. See, even in in Ashuddha Bhakti, even they are even in a path of Bhakti, they are Pradhani Bhaktas and all those. So this is specifically for Paranishtata Bhaktas. So Prabhupada is as he is writing in his commentary, then in his purport, Prabhupada is writing that he is one who is fully surrendered, right, and engaged in devotion to the Supreme Lord, can understand the Supreme. He gives them the special qualification of pure devotee that is always thinking of without deviation, without considering a time or place. There should be no impediment. He should be able to carry out his service anywhere at any time. Some say that a devotee should remain in holy places, they create the holy places, Prabhupada saying. So they always remember him. So this kind of a devotee is not a devotee who is so nishtata bhaktas, or a devotee who may be trying to remember Krishna, may be trying to actually maybe have a desire to please Krishna, but they are not like Paranishtata Bhaktas, you know, and they because these Paranishta Bhaktas, what they do, they they don't care about Varnashram duties also that was inside. If the Varnashram duty becomes an obstruction in their hearing, reading, and chanting, in serving the Lord, they give it up. Whereas Sanishtha Bhakta, they have a problem. You know, they will follow their varnashram duty and whatever the result will be there, that they will give it to the Lord. Whereas Paranishtha Bhakta actually he does not perform even very varnashram actions also. He may perform because the big difference between these two are what Paranishtha Bhaktas, they don't have a fear that if I don't do my varnashram duties, something will go wrong. Whereas Sanishta has. So but that is so. Actually, to remember Krishna, Ananda Chetaha Satatam has to be a Paranishthata Bhakta. That has been said. Because other maybe get caught up into solving the problems of his life, and remembering Krishna may go at the back. Whereas these kind of a devotees actually, so we can't jump to these stages. Prabhupada has given us a formula. We follow that. And at one stage, when bhakti actually becomes such fiery that nothing except Krishna he likes in this world. Nothing else uh, attracts him of nothing of this world attracts him. Then such a devotee can come to this level of Paranishta Bhaktas and his remembrance is unbroken in any situation. So he is that kind of a devotee can have a very literally Ananda. So but we do every day. Eventually to go to Sattam, remembrance. Right. So so this what has been said that we have to know that at least at the time of chanting we should know nothing nothing of this world should make me make me deviated from remembrance of Krishna. Right. That much practice one has to begin with Nitya Saha. The whole morning program is specifically. The whole morning program, one should push ourselves in a way that Remembrance of the Lord is the prominent, and no other things hinders it. So, so that we should first try to be. Then we can move towards higher stages. Because even if somebody actually tries to become Paranishchita Bhakta by his own, or thinks that, oh, on the name of laziness, he gives up his duty, and just starts practicing bhakti, saying, I'm Paranishchita Bhakta. you know, he will remember his prasadam plate then. Oh, 8 बज गए, 9 बज गए, अभी मैं प्रसाद का टाइम हो गया. Then how it is Paranishchita Bhakta. So, for him, it is bhukh or pyas. Actually, for him it is, he may get affected by it, but his remembrance of Krishna will not stop. You know. So he remembers the Supreme Lord in one of the rasas. That's why Prabhupada towards the end, I didn't made you read. Prabhupada towards the end he says, Bhakti Yoga is a system that the Gita recommends above all others. Generally, Bhakti yogis are engaged in 5 different ways. Shanta, Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya, Madhurya. The pure devotee is always constantly engaged in transcendental lovely service and cannot forget the Supreme Lord. So for him, the Lord is easily attained. So this level of a devotee. Krishna is saying Kevala Bhakta. So for him, actually, Krishna is actually very easily obtainable because Krishna is anchoring for him. So we remember even that pastime that where there was Pratishthanapur Brahman who was actually cooking, who cooked the sweet rice, and then to check the sweet rice, in the mind only he cooked and put his finger within the sweet rice and got burnt, and he did like that. Lord Vishnu, Lord laughed in Vaikuntha. Lakshmi ji asked, "Why are you laughing?" Then Lakshmi says, why he's in the material world? Bring him back immediately." And the Lord sends his Garuda and brings him to the spiritual world. So this is this kind of a devotee, Satatam, Ananda Chetaha Satatam. There is nothing else in his Chetana. So this kind of a stage is been spoken over here as the Kevala Bhaktas. And we see it, and we see that devotees actually in all situations also. Like when we hear about Srila Prabhupada or very great acharyas, things are going haywire. Like Lord Chaitanya time only, Lord Chaitanya's followers. There are so much problem, political issues were there, because Islamic people were actually ruling. But never a iota of statement has been passed by Lord Chaitanya or any of his followers about Islamic rule or much that make a protest against them. They were not Ananda Chetaha. Their Chaitanya was fixed. That is very difficult actually. Uh, very, very, very high station. It's not that they were irresponsible, but their remembrance of Krishna was not disturbed by any situation. So that's what is called about Kevala Bhaktas. We surely are very far, far, far below. But hope is for sure is there. Hope is this if we follow Nitya Saha properly. Right? If somebody is not following that Nitya Saha properly, remembrance of Krishna, at least in a morning program proper, not trying that, Ananda Cheta will be very, very far. Very far. It's always then an imaginative hyperbola for us. An imaginative hyperbola, not just an hyperbola. So this has been said about, Satatam, Chintayanto ma. Oh no, so sorry. Ananda Cheta Satatam. Yo mam smartani tasyam sulabha partha. So it's sulabha, so that is why pure devotee, the pure devotional service, one of the characteristics of the pure devotional service is is sudurlabha, or which is very durlab becomes very, very easy. That is sulabha. So very easy. The attaining Krishna becomes very, very easy for such a devotee. Any questions, bro? Because this is a very prominent words Do you have any questions? Anyone of you? What we just discussed. If there's no question, we'll go ahead. Okay. So you can now recite the next shloka. So this will be done. Cheta. The very important line is this: the special qualification of pure devotee is that he is always thinking of Krishna without deviation, without considering the time of this. There should be no impediment. And if some impediment comes, they say Hari Bol, Hare Krishna, Chalo, Jao. Like, I'll say Madhvendra Puri. Madhvendra Puri, when Kheer showed Gopinath actually stored the Kheer for him. So, and told the Pujari that go and give this sweet rice to the Madhvendra Puri. He didn't know who is Madhvendra Puri. He said, he is there. He's my great devotee. Go and call him. So, he came out in the night searching Madhavendra Puri, and Madhavendra Puri could understand. No, next day, I know everybody will come and ask me, "Oh, you are such a great man, such a great man," and it will be impediment for me. No, no, it will give me some prestige, and it will be impediment for me. He ran away from that place towards Puri. So, if they understand that anything can be impediment, they run away from that. So it is like that. So a devotee is because he's fixed. He doesn't want to lose his remembrance of the Lord because of any petty things of this world. When I'm saying this next verse, be clear about it. There will be very clearly differences spoken about this kind of a devotee and Sanishtata Bhaktas. Sanishtata Bhaktas, they have to go. For them, it is not said Sulabha Partha. Right? For them, it is not said. Because they have to go through a different way. So that will be spoken in the next verse. We'll read that. मामुपेत्य मामुपेत्य पुनर्जन्म दुःखालयम् अशाश्वतम् नाप्नुवन्ति महात्मानः संसिद्धिं परमां गतः. Pari-
Translation: After attaining me, the great souls, who are yogis in devotion, never return to this temporary world, which is full of miseries, because they have attained the highest perfection.
So this is a very famous verse. At least that word, Dukkhalayam Ashasvatam. So Krishna is saying that these devotees, they don't have gain Punajanma. They no more take birth. Actually, where they don't take birth? In this world. In this Dukkhalaya, a place which is full of miseries and which is temporary. Asashvatam. Actually, what happens to them? Napnuvanti Mahatma. These great souls, they attain perfection and they attain Paramam Gatim. They come to me. That's what we said. So they attain Krishna. They go to the world, to the world of the Lord, the kingdom of God, or the Goloka, and they never they don't take birth to this world. So in this world, when it's been said, even in the Swarga or up to the Brahma Loka also, they don't take. It is not that these devotees will be born in Brahmaloka or any other planet and then will be transported to. No, this is for Paranishthita Bhaktas. So Paranishthita Bhaktas straight goes to the Lord, as the Lord is saying, Sam Siddhi Paramam Gatihi Gataha. They achieve me. So please read this from.
Since the temporary material world is full of miseries of birth, old age, disease, and death, Naturally, he who achieves the highest perfection and attains the supreme planet, Krishna Loka, Golok Vrindavan, does not wish to return. The supreme planet is described in Vedic literature as Avyakta and Akshara and Paramagati. In other words, that planet is beyond our material vision and it is inexplicable. But it is the highest goal, the destination for the Mahatmas, great souls. The Mahatmas receive transcendental message from the realized devotees and thus gradually develop devotional service in Krishna consciousness and become so absorbed in transcendental service that they no longer desire elevation to any of the material planets, nor do they even want to be transferred to any spiritual planet. They want only Krishna and Krishna's association and nothing else. That is the highest perfection of life.
Yeah. So they become, so Prabhupada is writing that they attain Paramam Gatim, which is the highest destination. And Prabhupada has taken that higher destination to Goloka Vrindavan. Then Prabhupada is saying such Mahatmas, they don't want to go to even any other spiritual planet. No, no. Not this will no way in Vaikunthas. They just want Krishna and nothing else than Krishna. So this are kind of Mahatma, and how they become Mahatma, such kind of Mahatma, when they receive the transcendental message from the realized devotees and gradually develop devotional service in Krishna consciousness, and it becomes absorbed. That he doesn't want any other thing. That's what has been said over here, that such devotees, they actually so this ma upetya punarjanma, right? They, after achieving me, they don't take birth. So after achieving me, when it's been said, that's why it's been said over here as devotees, they will attain Krishna Loka. So so now over here, so here has been said that this devotee is actually is for surely a category of that who is of a Paranishtita Bhaktas. They don't they don't want anything else. They are not looking for Salokya, anything like that. They are just looking for Krishna. So this kind of devotee, they actually uh, so so this kind of devotee actually um, they may actually they go straight, to the spiritual world, whereas they may land up, Shanishta Bhaktas, they may land up, in some heavenly planet. They may hate because they have a desire to see those planets while trying to serve Krishna. So this kind of a devotee, actually, they may take some lifetime to go to, to the spiritual world. Because they understand that yes, heavenly planet, yes, yes, of luxury comfort is not good. I'm looking for Krishna, but still they want, those kind of a thing. So they might have to go over there, and then they may perform bhakti, because down it will come through. So so they may go over there, they may perform bhakti and may go ahead. Because of their nature of, also, uh, uh, with Krishna, they want to please Krishna. They have understood the goal of life is to attain Krishna, but is also some has attachment to see the other creations of the material in the material world also. So, but Paranishtita Bhakta, Ananya Chetaha Satatam, what happens to this person is that Krishna is saying he attains, he attains me, he comes to me and does not has to take birth into this world which is full of dukkha, you know. So, not in this world only over here is dukkha, in this on this earth, everywhere in this planet, in this material world is a dukkha, and he does not take birth anywhere, you know. So, he is my eternal associate. He becomes my eternal associates, and will also And he may, but yeah, but this devotee may take birth in this material world where I take birth. Very good. The way I come, that way they can come, not caused by karma, not like that. They when I come by my own will, and they also come to follow me by their own will. So this is the superiority of a devotee of a Kevala Bhaktas. So he has been said that in this world, this is how these noble-minded, generous people, Mahatmas, they concentrate only on me, and they attain me. So they don't look for anything else. So this verse is a superior establishes declares the superior position of devotees who are dedicated solely to the Lord, uh, who are dedicated solely to the Lord, to his other devotees such as that then other like Sanishta Bhaktas. So Paranishta Bhakta, I just want to say something more about Paranishta and Sanishta. The Paranishta devotees also perform their prescribed duty like Sanishta only to teach others. He has no fear of not performing the duty. Whereas Sanishta has a fear. If I don't, then what? No. They just perform their duty just to teach others. So and for such a devotee, Paranishta devotee, his main activity is the worship of the Lord, reading of the Bhagavad, following the Bhagavad Dharma. You know, he can avoid, and his main activity is this: if any prescribed duty interferes his Bhagavad Dharma, you know, he can avoid those duties. He avoids those duties and does not has any ill effect. Because somebody will say, hey, you are not doing Varnashram Dharma, you will get a bad karma for it. No, he will not get it. Why? Because why? He is very fixed. So Bhagavad Dharma is the main occupation, and the Varnashram for him becomes the secondary. Whereas the Sanishta Bhaktas, he performs prescribed duties as a worship for the Lord, and eventually that's how he becomes purified. So one has to know that the to be very frank, Prabhupada's system that he has given us about very soul and soul about Bhagavad Dharma of practicing pure devotional service and preaching pure devotional service actually is about very clear about Paranishtita Bhakta. That's why Prabhupada doesn't has to write these kind of terminology in his commentaries. He is very clearly from the first day Prabhupada is presenting us in this way that you just act for Krishna, love Krishna, serve Krishna, give your life to Krishna. That's how Prabhupada has very simple in simple words has made it very easy for us. And a very a process which he has given us is of very high station, but very simple way. So that is why Prabhupada doesn't has to write it, but no, as you are a student of a academic way of studying Bhagavad Gita, that is why I'm telling it because one has to know, and if you don't know, many people get sidelined by many other things in the process of bhakti. That's how it is been seen. So it's better to know these things and not get sidelined. You know, in bhakti path, with following the bhakti path because of many reasons. Because later on this world, we associate with many kind of people, and we develop many kinds of you know many kinds of things too comes up in one's own mind, and people get sidelined. That's what has been very often seen. So it's better to know, so what category of a devotee one should be. Just being a devotee is also very good. If somebody can practice the way Prabhupada has told us to practice, that's very great. Surely a very great destination awaits for such a devotee. So, Prabhu, any questions on this? If you have, you can please ask. Well, I've been speaking on something which is very, yeah. Is it understandable? what I'm saying. Paranishta, Sanishta. Who can tell me what is the difference, what you understood between Paranishta and Sanishta Bhaktas? Let's check Kaushik Group. Actually, apart from Kaushik Group, we'll come back to Kaushik Group. Apart from him, anybody else? Rohit Group, please tell.
Which like in the Swanashta Nishchit Bhakta, he has a fear that if he don't do some duties of Varnashram Dharma, then he may have to face some difficulties, and he has fear of that, facing those.
No. अरे बात नहीं प्रभु. Sanishta Bhakta does the Varnashram duty out of fear. कि नहीं करेंगे तो मेरे जीवन में कुछ प्रॉब्लम हो जाएगा.
Yes, same thing. Like that, he has
Okay.
fear, and out of fear he do. But Paranishta Bhakta, he don't have fear. So if he see that this thing is becoming an obstacle in remembering Krishna, then he, without any fear, he leaves that thing.
Yeah, okay. Uh, anybody else know? Vaibhav, Prabhu.
Yes, Hare Krishna Guruji. Prabhuji said this thing. Prabhuji, I have one question. In the seventh sloka,
Somehow your sound is very, not so clear to us, to me at least.
Hare Krishna Guruji.
हाँ बोलिए. हाँ बोलिए.
Guruji, I have one question. In seventh sloka, Krishna says, "Do your duty and remember me always." And this sloka, they will saying that Sapatam means continuously करना. So Prabhuji, what exactly as a duty we should follow? Like
I understood. You are thinking what Jaya Krishna says that Mam Anusmara Yuddhacha. Right.
right.
And over here we are talking about this guy. Yeah, okay, very good, bro. Very good. So actually in that, if you remember Mam Anusmara Yuddhacha, it was very clearly said Anusmaran is first, Yuddha is second. You remember that? We had spoken about that. Krishna very clearly said अनुस्मरण पहले होना चाहिए भगवान का, फिर युद्ध होगा. Right? So there's nothing like that. So this devotee, so Krishna over there is actually teaching Arjuna that you perform your duty while remembering me. You perform your duty. So this is the same. This Paranishta devotee, they will also do that. They will remember Krishna and that they will do it. But if the duty becomes a hindrance in remembrance later on, they will give up. Right now. So surely that is been said over here. It is not to it is not said that these will not perform, but for him it is secondary. And that is what Krishna wants Arjuna to be. Krishna doesn't want Arjuna to be to follow of a varnashrama. You are a Kshatriya, that's why you do it. That he one reason he gave in the beginning. That you are a Kshatriya, if you don't kill these people, you will go and kill people in the forest if they won't give you alms. So that is not. Krishna also wants him to act because he wants him to fight. Right now. So he is a Paranishta, he is a Shuddha Bhagavad, he is a Nitya Siddha anyhow. So it's a right. Is it clear what I...
Yes, Guruji. Yes. Maybe Guruji, you can say the 14th sloka mostly focus on Krishna consciousness work. And that one is mostly the varnashram in 7th sloka, mostly focusing on the varnashram for your duty, like in varnashram and do bhakti. But in 14, like Guruji, Parnishtam is 14 wala sloka and Sanishtam is 7 wala sloka. Maybe you can say.
Actually, somehow your sound is too low for me. What I understood you are saying is this that we have to become Krishna conscious and then we keep on doing our Varnashram duty. That's what?
Yes, Guruji. Yes, Guruji.
Yeah. That's what. Actually, we can't jump to the stature of Paranishta as he is. We keep on performing our, because we keep on performing our Krishna conscious Nitya. Eventually, it will become Satatam. Once it reaches Satatam, anyhow, we are at that stage that you will give it up. Is that okay?
Yes, Guruji.
Yeah. Okay. You have a question, Satyanarayan, too?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Another one. Yes, Prabhuji.
Hmm.
Prabhuji, that as you just discussed with the Vaibhav Prabhu also. So, Prabhu, all the time, how we have concept called David is also friendly use ki to आप तो गोलोक जाएंगे, and we have desire also to go to Golok. But again, as you just very nicely explained that it is just due to fear, है ना, कि fear from the janma dukha jara vyadi, we actually tend to go to Golok. But then, and again, as you just little time earlier you mentioned, ki pure devotee intention is not to attend any spiritual planet, but actually he wants to attain Krishna himself. So whatever Krishna desires, it is they consider the Krishna's will is their will. Is it correct, Prabhuji?
Mm-hmm. Prabhupada writes
Yes.
like that for sure. Yeah, Prabhupada is really doesn't want to go to any other spiritual planet.
Acha. Okay. So Prabhuji, so having the desire of going to Golok is also then not correct, na Prabhu? Then in one sense or one perspective, if you say.
Yeah, one should not have a desire to be in this world also and enjoy. It's very easy to say that one should not have a desire. It's quite a lofty philosophy. Now that I agree, but one
Hmm.
should not have a desire even to stay in this world and then enjoy. If one does not
Oh,
has, he can have this desire. He can surely say that मारो भी राखो भी जो इच्छा तो हार
asli
wherever you think.
jawab बताओ.
That's very highest. That's truth. That's
Yes,
truth.
yes, right.
Yeah.
So, just a simple question continuing to that, Prabhu. So, as Vaibhav Prabhuji also mentioned, like we should continue our Varnashram Dharna and also we should practice our bhakti. But so during this, and we did really want to attend that mood. So, during practicing the Varnashram Dharna, what should we know? Like it is obviously, as you now clearly very much cleared this thing. Ki, in even recently also, I was contemplating. I thought ki we actually, if the thing doesn't exist, let's say अगर जन्म दुख जरा व्याधि होते ही नहीं फॉर एग्जांपल, then we wouldn't have bothered also to practice bhakti,
Yeah.
like because of fear कि हाँ यहाँ नहीं रहना है, ये नहीं करना है. And why we want to love Krishna is not the reason because Krishna loves us, because we haven't realized yet. So it is the only reason. So how can, as a sadhaka like me, a so-called sadhaka like me, uh, like have the mood, Prabhuji? What should be the mood, Prabhuji?
Yeah. So, we have to follow. Uh, see, one thing you should know very clearly. Uh, that simple process that Prabhupada has given actually is a very important process. If somebody does it powerfully, does it nicely, you know, understands it properly and does it, actually he comes to this stage of Paranishtata, right? No? No, we don't have to do anything extra. The only thing that we have to be is very clear uh, that what Prabhupada is said, do it emphatically. One of the statements of Gopal Krishna Maharaj in his Vyas Puja, it was written, and was very, about this only he was written. Do as been said by Prabhupada as your duty. Eventually, it will turn out into love. It was very clear statement. You know, so we don't have to do anything. We have to know the process is very powerful. No, do as has been said as a duty. But duty doesn't mean, duty means Prabhupada says chant attentively. So do it as a duty, chant attentively. Try your best. Perform Mangalarti every day. Read Bhagavatam every day. Hear Bhagavatam every day. Preach to your best of your ability. Do it as a duty. It will turn out into love. At least there is very clear statement of His Holiness Gopal Krishna Maharaj. So, very beautifully, there may many such statements were there. Is that okay now, bro? That's what we have to do. We
Yes,
don't have to
yes,
do anything extra. Okay?
yes, yes. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Yeah, because Bhakti, some of you all have not read Nectar of Devotion. Nectar of devotion, when you start reading, you will understand very clearly. This terminology of Nitya is very important over there. Very, very important. One has to do it. Ma Dikshatum, that will also come if you do it every day.
Hmm.
You know. So before to that, it will be uh, it will be just on a duty platform, and that's fine. It has to go on a duty platform. Do it, which will turn out into like on a duty platform. You do, no? You're in when your
Hmm.
job when you're
Job.
working, you do it on duty platform.
Correct.
आपको पता
Yes,
है
Pralhad.
भैया ये प्रोजेक्ट सबमिट करना है, अच्छे से सबमिट करना है. क्यों?
पसंद आए ना आए
बॉस है
डेडलाइन.
ऊपर, ड्यूटी है. तो
हम्म
वैसे ही अच्छे से माला करना है क्योंकि आपका ड्यूटी है.
हम्म बट अगेन ना
वैसे
ब्रो जी, आपने सब कहा बॉस है तो फियर वाला फैक्टर तो आ ही रहा है ना ब्रो जी.
नो प्रॉब्लम, नो प्रॉब्लम. Eventually such a employee eventually
हम्म
becomes a shareholder of the company also. There are many such fellows actually, and you will see in companies of age of 60 also, they are shareholders sitting in the company. They began as a
हम्म
in that same company as one of you.
हम्म
Now you ask them, they will say this work now, this work is like is I like it
या
because उसका वहाँ पे अभी शेयर है.
करेक्ट करेक्ट. गॉट इट ब्रो,
Okay.
गॉट. थैंक यू सो मच ब्रो. हरे कृष्ण.
Yes,
यस.
Kaushik bro.
Prabhuji, the last point you shared, in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says to Arjuna that Mam Ichhaptum Dhananjaya, that you do duty but at the same time have a desire to attain me. But Prabhuji, the next sentence you said that one should just do duty and automatically love will come. So Prabhuji, how to understand these two different sentences? Because
No,
Krishna
this is
clearly said that you should have a
yeah.
desire to attain me.
That's why I quoted you also to whom I'm quoting. You know. So actually, if you have heard properly, I also said that do as a duty, not just mechanically. Try it because Prabhupada has not said us to chant mechanically. He has told us to chant attentively. So our desire may not be very strong to attain Krishna, but it's a duty you chant attentively. You chant attentively, see what happens. Right, no? That's why I've been stating that. Is it clear, na, bro?
Yes, Prabhuji. So it means Prabhuji, if we do as a duty, the desire will manifest because we are
Will
sincerely doing
manifest. That's the power of sadhana bhakti.
it. Thank
That
you,
is the
Prabhuji.
power of a sadhana bhakti. Eventually, because of the purification that we get, naturally, attraction towards Krishna increases. So, because right now attraction for Krishna is not there because we have attraction for many other things. But as we do Cheto Darpana Marjanam, these things gets cleared up. Attraction towards those things goes feeble, becomes weak. And we are doing this process of bhakti again and again every day, and natural attraction over here increases. No? So then Mam Ikshaptum will come over here automatically. Right now it is it's a tool that we may use to give up our lethargy. As a tool we may use. But Mam Ikshaptum really it will awaken when we will get purified to some level. Or there will be some devotees who maybe they may be exceptions are exceptions. There are exceptions for it. Right? Who may not be pure but have a great desire to attain Krishna. That's that is exceptions. Yes, true. Is it clear, Sukashi Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Yeah, yes. Yes, true.
Sorry bro ji for troubling you.
No,
uh,
no.
Prabhuji, so from what the discussion is currently going and what my limited understanding to this conversation is ki, as you mentioned just ki a sadhaka should aspire to get Krishna prem, and this is the process how we'll understand that is I'm convinced, Prabhuji. Uh, but the second thing that the like Kaushik Prabhu also mentioned, and even I am also bothering about is the how what should be the mood, because if the mood is, if there is no motivation to eventually what will happen ki it's just a mechanical thing, and motivation comes when we have some desire towards it. But now the question is, we don't have desire only at first, है ना? We have to generate desire, correct? But we understand from the facts that Krishna Prem is the ultimate thing what we want. So we should cry for the desire while doing sadhana. Is it the right mode, Proji?
There's an element of spiritual mastery in them.
Sorry, Proji?
Right? There's an element of there's a factor of pleasing spiritual master has to be there. Because he's doing
Factor of
so
pleasing
much,
spiritual master has
you
to be
know,
there.
okay, Krishna's mercy is inconceivable yet to us. But
Hmm.
spiritual master's mercy has to be done. So for his
Yes.
pleasure, one has to do.
Okay. There are now one more factor. Okay. Actually, there are obviously many factors to it.
There are many
So,
factors for it, but this is a very prominent factor. That is why among the 64 items of devotional service, the first three, you know, you know,
Ado Guru Padantara.
yeah, no, these are very important. The three are about Guru only.
hmm.
Mhm.
So as of now, I should seek
Please,
desire to please spiritual
please.
master.
Yeah. And a desire to please Vaishnavas should be first.
Yes, sir. Then spiritual master. Then if
Hey,
spiritual master
I'm
desires
saying
anything.
no because there's a Vaishnavas will introduce us to spiritual master. And we
Hmm.
live with Vaishnavas, we serve with Vaishnavas. So this formula is very set. You know, initially one may come to attain Krishna, that's very good, but eventually he understands the process is this.
Hmm.
Process is this.
And yes, I'm getting it now.
And it is
Thank
very easy. Actually, I would just because we are talking in this particular way, I'm just saying it. Bhakti becomes very easy if you have somebody, some sadhu is there in your life, some devotee is there in your life, for whose pleasure actually you know, whose pleasure actually is a very prominent thing for you. And surely he should be a elevated devotee. Bhakti becomes very easy. Very easy. Somebody should be there for whose you don't want to displease him. You have a fear of displeasing him, not because he is your boss. He may cut down your holidays or salary. Not like that. But you have an actually you don't want to. See, even in the school days, I don't know how many of you, but there were some teachers to whom we don't want to displease. Yeah. Maybe whatever reason that connection was there, and that make the student, behave very properly in the school, even where there is no much higher principles involved over there. That's what I would say. So involvement for devotees are very prominent. That may be once a spiritual master to whom he is very connected to. Generally, it is not the case. That is why we are saying there should be some devotee. जिसका आपको लगे कि बाबा उनको पता चलेगा अगर मैं ऐसा कर रहा हूँ तो कैसा लगेगा. That's high. That's very safe devotee. If we have such devotee or devotees, he is very rich in bhakti. He's actually rich in bhakti. Okay. Any more questions, bro?
So, like in this material world, anyways, we are going to get attached. So it is better. So we have no other way because anywhere we are going to get attached to anything or something due to our anarthas. So we have to attach to someone who will take us there.
Yeah. And not like a baby. These are all adjectives which I keep on adding. Not like a baby. Baby is also attached because he's helpless. Here it is about more of a mature understanding. So I'm really saying it, this is a very prominent thing. If we have a devotee, who's elevated, you know, who's surely elevated. He not like like I like to live for the pleasure. For me, my my equal or my somebody who's just immediate senior. I like his pleasure. So when he says me to eat in Govindas, I can't say no. Not like that. I hope you understand very clearly. I'm not talking about he is elevated devotee. Uh, so that is very important. Then many lower natures we give it up. Many things we are ready to tolerate because because we are bold by his devotional stature. That may be a one's spiritual master also, but spiritual master generally is not so. So one, if it is much rich, person is more rich if he has a devotee apart from the spiritual master also, who may be very close to him. It's a very great. Prabhu, it's 8:12. We just got into another line. Uh, any more? I'm open. No more words.
Guruji, how to increase tolerance?
How to increase tolerance? What kind of answer you want? If you don't tolerate, there'll be a lot of problem in this world. You can't. You know, tolerance. If you're talking about tolerance of others' behavior, or tolerance of one's own senses, mind, they are, you know, they're they are pretty good reasons why to tolerate it. First, know why to tolerate it. That's what I would say. And even surely it requires some kind of element of austerity is there to tolerate one's mind and senses. Like when a Janmashtami is there and you're fasting, one has to tolerate his mind and senses. Your senses, tongue may be asking, खास करके अब 11 बज जाता है, भूख ऐसे बढ़ जाता है, 1 घंटा बाकी है. So one has to know that the higher purpose should be there of tolerance. If tolerating others' behavior in serving together, there should be higher purpose is that I have to serve, for the pleasure of somebody higher. Like Krishna and Sudama, they were tolerating the entire rain and everything because they wanted to please their spiritual master. They want to accomplish the service which he has given. So a higher cause actually is very important in one's life. You know. And surely this verse begins with humility. One who has humility will tolerate. So different depends on where on what we actually want to tolerate, or we want the general muscles of tolerance we are talking about, or in specific our own mind and senses tolerance. Mind and senses, I'm saying austerity has to be there. One has to purify his mind and senses and anyway, same time do austerities. Devotional austerities, not just some yogi austerity. There are many lectures of His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj on this. That's what I can tell you to, all of you to, if you wish to, you can. Okay, Prabhu.
Yes, Guruji.
Okay. Okay, so we end over here. We could only do 2 verses, but it will go tomorrow. We cover it. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Right. Thank you so much, Prajit.